First things first, how you relate to other people directly affects how you relate to yourself. When you are not kind to yourself, you will inadvertently attract and put up with others who are also mean to you. You will only put up with those who also treat you with respect and decency if you first treat yourself with these qualities. Second, doing activities that make you feel good about yourself is the only way to improve your self-esteem. Respect must be earned, not given. Third, not trying is the only way to fail. Not asking is the only way to be rejected. The only error is to take no risks at all. The ideas of success and failure are imprecise and exist only in your thoughts before to action, not after. Everything will be a combination of both after the fact. Real failure only comes from inaction. Fourth, you are not going to be saved by anybody. Nothing will work on its own to fix all of your issues. Nobody can ever repair you, not a relationship, objective, or accomplishment. You will constantly have occasional feelings of inadequacy and discontent with your existence. You are quite normal to feel this way. Conversely, it might be the most typical thing about you. Fifth, be the kind of relationship you want to have. Being fit and healthy yourself will help you attract a healthy and fit companion. Be a faithful and trustworthy person yourself if you desire a faithful and trustworthy relationship. Stated differently, would you date you? If not, there is an issue. Sixth, the most precious things in life accumulate wealth over time. I'm talking about relationships, health, money, education, and confidence. These things are difficult to develop when you're young, but if you start early and don't stop, you'll have a fantastic life by the time you're in your 30s and 40s. Seventh, the most seductive and thrilling things in life are the exact opposite. They are really enjoyable at first, but their benefits gradually wane. These activities take up a lot of your time and attention while you're young and distract you. This holds true for video games, gambling, social media, casual sex, drugs, and alcohol. It's amazing the first time, nearly as fantastic the second, but after that it's all downhill. Eighth, you're not paying enough attention to what really matters if you're not rejecting things that thrill you. There is so much potential and stimulus in our environment. You haven't properly prioritized what's important to you if you aren't finding it difficult to say no to opportunities. Ninthly, owning up to your troubles will lessen suffering rather than increase it. Contrary to popular belief, accepting responsibility for all of your problems will not make you feel any better about them. In fact, just the reverse is true. The more accountability you have, the better equipped you are to really address that suffering. 10th, you provide authority to the person you accuse. You give someone else control over you when you hold them responsible for your issues. You're giving them the power to choose and control how happy and healthy you should be. Don't do this silly thing. It's not worth it. 11. You're not that if you have to tell someone that you are that. A wealthy guy has no desire to flaunt his wealth to others. A wise guy doesn't think it's necessary to flaunt his intelligence. A person who exudes confidence doesn't need to prove it to others. It simply comes naturally. Be it, don't say it. Number 12. Motivation is an outcome rather than the cause of action. Take the slightest step toward completing the task at hand. If you want to feel driven to accomplish it, then allow the momentum carry you through. Number 13. Love is the result of devotion, not its cause. You commit to the individual in order to develop the perfect connection. You don't wait to commit to someone until you have the ideal relationship. Number 14. Good work is the result of passion, not the cause of it. You don't hold off till you discover a passion project. As you gain expertise and agency, you learn how to do something well, which piques your interest in it. Number 15. The person you marry is the one you argue with. The home you purchase is the one you fix. And the job you accept is the one that causes you worry. There is an underlying sacrifice in everything. Anything that elevates our mood will always depress us as well. Number 16. A happy life is one that involves significant stress rather than one that is devoid of it. Number 17. Don't think of working out as a trade-off. You don't work out to get that ice cream cone and cheeseburger, or to shed a few pounds. If you approach exercise with this mentality, you will rapidly lose desire and give up. Instead, see it as an investment. You will get numerous units of energy in return for each unit of energy you put in. The drawback is that the energy units you get back will be distributed across many weeks, months, and years. For this reason, doing intense exercise on occasion is significantly less beneficial than doing little exercise every day. As an added benefit, meditation facilitates all other aspects of life. One of the mental exercises that has received the most scientific validation is meditation. It has been shown to lessen stress, enhance sleep, sharpen memory and attention, and elevate overall health. The greatest part is that you can do it wherever. You may do it when you're taking a dump, at work, on a bus, or even at home. Number 18. Trust others. The most of them are decent people, and even if you may sometimes be injured or humiliated, the alternative is much worse. There is no such thing as a problem-free existence. Number 19. Both Warren Buffett and the homeless man struggle with money. The homeless man's financial troubles are less appealing than Buffett's. Issues don't simply go away. As you develop and mature, they get updated and swapped out for new ones. The germ of tomorrow's dilemma will be the answer to today's. Number 20. Happiness and celebration are seldom present when progress occurs. Conversely, most development is uncomfortable in some way. This is due to the fact that progress necessitates loss of your previous identity, beliefs, habits, and affections. Grief is always a part of change, so remember to allow yourself to mourn. Number 21. According to statistics, the average individual is physically ill, emotionally tense and unhappy, socially isolated, and in debt. Number 22. Your yeses are meaningless if you are unable to say no. What we sacrifice, what we give up, and what we reject determine who we are. You have no identity if you don't reject anything or make any sacrifices. You are nothing more than a mirror reflecting the tastes and expectations of those around you. Stated differently, others will determine who you are if you don't. Number 23. Exercise caution while defining oneself. Your identity is a mental prison that you have built for yourself. It keeps you bound to a life of frantically searching for and obtaining evidence to support the person you have decided to be. Try to define oneself in the most vague and imprecise way possible. You'll be more open to change when it's called for and have less defensiveness against the outside world. Number 24. You have no fucking clue what others have gone through, so stop assuming things about them. Additionally, avoid assuming anything about yourself. We can't be impartial about ourselves. The last person. Number 25. You give yourself more thought than anybody else does. The majority of people, maybe 99%, aren't even aware of your insecurities. This is a result of everyone else's excessive self-centeredness. Although it can seem a little dismal to you, this is really freeing. It indicates that you are not as judged as you may believe. Number 26. Comfort with failure rather than success expectations is the source of confidence. A person who has an obsession with success in everything is called a fucking narcissist. Number 27. Learn to accept disapproval. It will provide you the flexibility to take necessary action, even if it is controversial. Number 28. You can't be a completely hilarious person to certain people while yet having the ability to change their lives. Hatred is a necessary part of making an effect, and it's generally proportionate to the impact. Number 29. Use sunblock and floss every day. I know I sound like your mom right now, but I promise you will be grateful to me in 20 years. Number 30. Ordinary deeds repeated over extraordinary periods of time yield remarkable effects. Any achievement that comes to you quickly is really the product of years or even decades of hard effort done in secret. Number 31. Romance is not a factor when selecting a mate. Not only are you picking a business partner, but you're also picking a confident therapist, investor, roommate, best friend, and travel companion. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you shouldn't make your partner become all of these things. I'm just saying that whether you want them to or not, they will. A relationship is just that. So choose your fucking carefully. Number 32. Romantic love should not be overvalued. Love might really do more damage than good. It cannot resolve trust difficulties or solve relationship problems. It's a power source. It improves positive relationships and exacerbates negative ones. Do not misunderstand me. Love is wonderful when it functions properly. However, love is insufficient for a good relationship on its own. Number 33. All partnerships are based on trust. A solid foundation of trust is the foundation of every successful relationship. The lack of trust is the root cause of all unsuccessful relationships. Thus, the foundation of a happy life and a life of good relationships is honesty and integrity. You may be able to get some short-term benefits by being dishonest and lacking integrity, but in the long run, you're fucking yourself. So quit. Number 34. Let me tell you something. If the issue in each of your relationships is the same, you are the one who has to be fixed. Number 35. And feeling may only be interpreted negatively. There is no such thing as a terrible emotion itself. Any emotion has two possible uses, constructive and harmful. Learning how to productively channel your negative emotions is one of the most valuable life lessons you will ever encounter. Number 36. Throughout my whole life, I have vowed to myself that I would never be the person who goes to bed at 9 p.m. on a Friday or gets up at 5 a.m. in order to work out and succeed. However, mornings are the true crap. I hate to say that. Number 37. No one, not even yourself, needs you to prove anything. To reiterate for those in the back, you are not required to prove anything to anyone, not even yourself. The 38th piece of advice is that life is like clothes. If it doesn't fit, toss it and try something new. Similar to clothes, poor counsel becomes obsolete in a matter of weeks, whereas good advice lasts a lifetime. Number 39. Nothing worthwhile in life is simple, and nothing worthwhile in life is simple. Although we pretend that we would want things to be given to us effortlessly, the reality is that we are not grateful for or content with things that we do not have to work hard for. Find the challenging things in life that you like doing instead of running away from the challenging things. And lastly, number 40. You may always make a change at any time. I once heard a buddy of mine tell a tale about his grandma. He reported that at the age of 62, after the death of her spouse, she enrolled in piano lessons for the first time. She practiced all day, every day, for weeks. The family first believed that she was using play as a coping mechanism for her sadness, but as the months passed, she persisted in playing every day. People began to question if she was insane or if there was a problem with her. They advised her to give up and confront the facts. Truly, she was elderly. She had been playing the piano daily for more than 30 years by the time she was in her 90s, which is longer than the majority of working musicians had been alive. She was an expert in every classic piece by Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, and Vivaldi. All who saw her performance professed to believe that she had previously been a concert pianist. When she claimed to have taken her first class in her 60s, nobody took her word for it. I like this tale because it demonstrates that you can still learn something new when you're an elderly and impractical person. More time than most experts have had to study their craft.